This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today's agenda is like we are discussing about Microsoft Power BI. Okay, what is Microsoft Power BI? It's a analytical reporting tool. Analytical reporting tool. So it's a reporting tool which has been provided by Microsoft. Okay, so in the first session we have, I think, few of the people have not attended the first demo session, right? Raghunath and Raghunath, Prithvi. This is your first session, right?
Yep, that's right. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. My apologies.
Yeah, yeah. My name is Santosh. Yeah, my name is
Thanks, Sanjay.
Santosh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
so
noted it.
okay. So basically, first we need to understand what is report. Okay. So as I said, Microsoft Power BI is a analytical reporting tool. First, we need to understand what is report, what is the importance of the report, how reporting is going to, influence your IT market. So these are all the basic things which we discussed in the first session. But anyway, I'll just give you a brief about that. Okay. So, okay. Suppose consider an example of say Walmart, any organization. Okay, any organization, if they want to improve their sales in terms of financial growth, in terms of their product growth. So as a high level person of that company, he has to take some decision. Okay, suppose Walmart is performing good, but Walmart has different branches across the globe. Okay, so obviously not all the branches will perform better, right? So some branches will perform better, some branches will not perform better. Some areas of some branches needs to improve their sales. Okay, so needs to improve their sales. Suppose I'm just trying to consider, this is my Walmart organization. Okay, say this is Walmart. Say it has different branches. Okay, assume Walmart has branch in Australia, Walmart has branch in Canada, Walmart has branch in UK. Okay, so generally, whatever the different branches are there, every day they are going to store their data in a particular place. Okay, so that place is called as a OLTP system. OLTP system. Suppose I'm trying to hold the current day-to-day transactions into the OLTP system of Australian region, OLTP system of Canada region, OLTP system of UK region. So this is my OLTP. OLTP stands for online transactional processing. Online transactional processing. What we generally do in OLTP system, see, OLTP system is meant for to store your day-to-day regular transactions. Okay, so day-to-day transactions, again within the different countries or different regions. Internally we have different branches of Walmart. Internally, in different regions, assume like we have different branches of Walmart. Okay, each branch will have everyday day-to-day transactions. Okay, so the day-to-day transactions of each region specific is going to be stored in a place called OLTP system. So for each region wise, they're going to maintain some one OLTP system, and they're going to store and track their day-to-day transactions into the OLTP system. Okay, now after after storing the data into the OLTP system, see, they need to see, generally in OLTP system, suppose Walmart has different branches, Australia, Canada, UK. Individually Australia will have different individual, again, sub branches are there. So every day when we consider about kind of business hours, what do you mean by business hours? Assume the business hours is, say, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so when I say business hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., so during the business hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., whatever the transactions that are going to happen on the individual branches, that we are going to track in a OLTP systems. Okay, but OLTP system has some kind of limitations, certain limitations in terms of space. So OLTP will holds small amount of data, so during the business hours, whatever the regular transactions are there, so those transactions we are going to store in a OLTP system. Okay, now after that, what is the next step? So the next step is going to be, this is a kind of complete organization flow I'm explaining you. So the next step is going to be your data warehouse. Data warehouse. In data warehouse, what kind of operation is going to be happen? It is going to be happen operation called OLAP. Okay, OLAP operations. So what do you mean by OLAP? OLAP stands for online analytical processing. Online analytical processing. Okay, so during the non-business hours. So what is a non-business hours? Say assume, say 9 p.m. Business hours means uh, when your business and current transactions are going to be happen. So 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So after 9 p.m. to again next morning 9 a.m. is going to be your non-business hours. So whatever the transactions or day-to-day transactions that you are going to track during the business hours, so those transactions are going to be stored in a place called warehouse, or you can call it as a data warehouse. So what do I mean by data warehouse? Data warehouse is a place where we are going to hold our collective data, collective huge volume of data into a place. Okay, into a place called data warehouse. Okay, now now, so after storing the data into data warehouse, what is the next step it is going to be? Okay, now my data is available in the data warehousing system. So I can straight away utilize this particular data for my visualization purpose. So now, after getting the data into data warehousing, so by making use of this data, I'm going to create a reports or dashboards. I'm going to create a reports or dashboard. Suppose, say, uh, I'm just trying to create a report. So assume this is my reports. Okay, I have created the report by making use of my data source as a data warehouse. Okay, and I have designed the reports. I have designed some reports here. Okay, so now after that, what is going to be the next step? The next step is going to be after designing the report, here we have two scenarios. After designing the report, here we have two scenarios. Okay, so one is it something you want to transfer this to cloud account? So this is assume this is a cloud account. Yes, this is your cloud. Say this is your, okay, so this is going to be your cloud, and this is going to be your report server. Okay, so after designing the report, what is the next step it's going to be? So your report is in your local machine. See, whatever the report that you develop or generate, so it is going to be there in your local system. Okay, so from your local system, once the report is ready, whether you want to whether you want to share this report or publish this report to cloud environment or your on premises environment means your company environment. Okay, company local environment, so it is all depends on the requirement. So if clients will says no, you want to keep the report in a cloud based technologies, so you are going to keep in cloud. So otherwise, if client is asking for you to publish the report to your report server, so you're going to store this report into report server. So that's what generally it will happen. But in between these transactions, so many other activities also, like we need to we need to have some kind of transformation, we need to apply some kind of transformation to synchronize the data. So the reason why is, see, if you see in between oltp and olap, in between oltp and olap, so there is a option called transformations. Transformations. Okay, so why do we actually need a transformation? Suppose so this is a oltp system for Australia, this is a oltp system for Canada, this is a oltp system for UK. So if you observe, the currencies of different regions are different, like here you have Australian dollars, then Canada dollars, UK pounds. So you cannot store complete data as it is into your warehouse. So if you store, what happens, you will have lot of data mismatch. I mean, in the sense, whatever the data that you are going to store, it is not in a synchronized format. How to make synchronize? You have to make synchronize the data by converting your existing currency format into any one single format. Either you can convert into Australian dollars all, or you can convert into UK pounds or whatever. But finally, you are going to convert all into one conversion, dollar conversion, and finally, you are going to load that into your data warehouse. After loading the data into data warehousing, you are going to utilize the data. You are going to utilize the data. On top of it, you are going to perform, or you are going to design the reporting activities. Okay, so this is how generally will happen in the projects environment or even in the company environment. Okay, so that's where so till this point, guys, are you clear? Raghu, Raghunath?
Just yeah, I have a doubt here. We have shown the data warehouse, right? Where
Yes.
like I mean we'll get all the data into one thing. I understood that thing, but however, when we have like I mean if we say, let us say example as a bank, we'll keep on getting
Okay.
active data. But when we
Mhm.
are working on the reports, how we manage those things? Because what to say, like we have
See,
to get into some other place and we have to do it, right?
staging area you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
See, the thing is, see, we can create the report directly on the OLTP systems and OLTP tables also. See, the reason is, see, in OLTP also, whatever the data that you're going to store, it is going to store in a tables format. Okay, so by making use of these tables, you can easily you can easily create the dashboards. But what is the reason that we are not actually utilizing this? OLTP will have what OLTP will have? OLTP stands for online transactional processing. Okay, so what OLTP will hold? It will hold all day-to-day transactions or current transactions. Okay, suppose say right now 8:33. So you're trying to create you're trying to design a report sharp 8:33 by making use of your OLTP data. Yes, you can create, but what is the state of the same report say after 1 hour? So when you generate any report, whatever the data that you're able to see on the report, it is not going to be the latest data. Since it is a online transactional processing, always day-to-day transactions are going to be tracked. So you will not get always latest data. But when you perform or when you design any report on top of data warehousing, see, in general, suppose in general suppose I want to understand, see, as a high level person of a company, if I want to understand, if I want to understand, see, in Walmart, I want to understand what all the products are. I'll say what are the top 10 products. I need to understand bottom bottom 10 products. When I say top 10 products means it is a best performed products. So it is a best performed products. So bottom 10 means it is a poor performed product. Poor products. Okay. Poor performed products. See why I'm actually going for that. And also I want to understand, say, from last say 2 years, how my company is performing. Okay, see, I want to understand this basic criteria. Why do I need to understand this basic criteria? Because as a head of the person, or kind of high level person of Walmart, I want to understand this kind of concepts. Okay, why? Because Walmart has different branches. You know, different with different branches. They have branches in Australia. They have branches in US. They have branches in UK, Canada. So many regions, but not all the regions are performing good. Say US region, it is performing extraordinarily, but Canada and UK regions are performing poor. So to improve the sales, organization has to take some decision. Say, okay, for I mean organization has to take some decision by giving some discount, so that people across the region is going to get attracted to that particular kind of offers or whatever. Say, for all customers across the UK and Canada, we are going to give 5% discount, so that way they can attract, so they have to take. So again, within UK, they have say 10 branches or 20 branches. So applying the discount offers across the globe, do you think is that the correct approach? So definitely not. Why? Because you need to identify those areas where your company is not performing, your growths are not perform your you know your growths are not in a proper way. So you need to identify that. How are you going to identify that? So based on the existing data or based on the history data. So your data warehousing always hold what kind of data? Data warehousing will hold your history data. So that is the reason data warehouse will have huge volume of data. So it is not mandatory that everyone has to design a report based on OLAP data. That means data warehousing data. You can also design by using OLTP. The difference is, if you're trying to design any reports on OLTP data, so since the data is going to be changed very frequently, so obviously whatever the data that you're able to see might not be the latest data. So that is the reason in the most of the cases in the real time projects, people are people are depending on the historical data. See, if Walmart is trying to do some kind of analysis on the historical data, say past 4 years data, or say past 2 years data. So what was the sale? So in 2011, what was the sale? 2012, 2013, 2014. So whether the sales got increased or decreased. So whether any product sales got increased or decreased. So doing all this kind of R&Ds, so then we can come to know that okay, these are all the XYZ are the top 10 products, say ABC are the poor products, so that I can concentrate on those product which is performing poor. And if I identified the regions and the products which is performing poor, so then as a head of the organization, I can able to take a decision. So the purpose of doing all the purpose of doing all these things is to improve the sales of the company. So your reporting will your reporting will gradually improve your decision making process. Okay, so if you if you do some kind of proper analysis on your history data, so then only you will be able to take a right decision. Okay, then only you'll be able to take a right decision. So that is what the concept and the kind of flow in the organization people will follow. Any questions, Raghunath?
Thanks a lot, Santosh. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Now so we are talking about Raghunath, since you have not attended the first session, you can take the demo sessions recording from front end people. Okay, office front end. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so we were discussing about the Power BI. Okay, so in the first session we have discussed about the scope of the Power BI. See, if I learn my Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, what is going to be the scope? Okay, whether I'm going to get the job or not, what is the state of the job, and everything which I've covered in the first session. Okay, so today we are going to focus on more things on uh, basic components of Power BI. As I told, Power BI is a analytical reporting tool. So, what are the basic components of Power BI? So, there are four different types of components. Okay, so one is Power BI desktop. Second one is Power BI cloud, or you can call it as a Power BI service. Okay, so then third one, Power BI report server. Then fourth one, Power BI mobile app. So these are the four basic components of your Microsoft Power BI. Okay, Microsoft Power BI has four different components: Power BI Desktop, Power BI Cloud, Power BI Report Server, Power BI Mobile App. Okay, see, in this out of four, Power BI Desktop, in Power BI Desktop, are most of the code, I can say 80 to 85% of the coding or transformations or any kind of coding we are going to do in Power BI Desktop. So major concept is going to be your Power BI Desktop. So after that, rest of the concepts like rest of the components like Power BI Cloud, Power BI Report Server, Power BI Mobile App. Okay, so these are the components. These are the components which comes under the rest of the part. Say whatever the remaining 10 to 15% are there, it is going to be covered in this particular Power BI Cloud. Okay, so uh, simple things, whatever the reports that we generate, how are we going to move the created reports to cloud environment or report server or to mobile apps, and after moving to that particular environment, how are we going to manage those reports in terms of scheduling, in terms of gateways handling. So many different concepts are there. So how are we going to manage those? Also, one very important, very good, very important thing is security. How to provide a security? All these things we're going to cover under that particular components. Clear, Raghunath?
Yeah, thanks, Sandeep. Please go.
Okay. So as part of this course, as part of this course, I'm going to start with, see, I'm going to give a basic SQL knowledge which every BI or which every report developer should know. Okay, so I'm going to cover basic SQL, complete basic SQL up to joins. Okay, up to joins. So after that, I'm going to cover all the components: Power BI Desktop, Power BI Cloud Service, Power BI Report Server, Power BI Mobile App. Okay, after this, I'm going to cover. Nowadays, in the interviews, people are asking for SSAS knowledge. What do you mean by SSAS? SSAS stands for SQL Server Analysis Service. So people are expecting some knowledge to be there in SQL Server Analysis Service. I'm going to provide that complete knowledge on SSAS also. After this, I'm going to give basics of Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Azure BI, Microsoft Azure BI. So these are all the things which we are going to cover during our 45 days to 60 days plan. Okay, so these are all the good things I'm going to discuss. Okay, guys. Raghu.
Yeah, sure, Sandeep. I'm okay.
Okay, right. So, Raghunath, so what is your comfort level in basic SQL? How comfortable are you in basic SQL?
Basic SQL I can manage. I mean, maybe I sometimes I may not remember the command, but I can Google it and I can manage.
Oh, you can manage. Okay, so
Yeah,
if you're okay with that, so then I think we can straight away proceed with the Power BI concepts. Okay. What
right,
about
sure.
Murali? Murali and Rupa?
And one more doubt for me. When we say SQL Server Analysis Service, is it
Uh-huh.
like related to what to say performance or how it is?
Exactly. Performance. Actually,
Okay.
by using SQL Server Analysis Service, we generally going to create a concept called cubes. Okay, cubes. So what is a cube, how to create a cube, when do we go for a cube, and how cube will improve the performance of the report, all these things we are going to discuss. Basically, to implement the cubes is the purpose of implementing cubes is which it definitely improve the performance of the report. Okay, so people
Okay.
are not actually expecting in detail knowledge on SSAS, but they're expecting something on SSAS. Okay, so there is a model in this SSAS called tabular model. Okay, tabular model, which currently people are expecting some knowledge on tabular model. Okay, even in the interview point of view, people are asking on that. Okay, I'm going to give a complete information about even SSAS as well. Okay.
Yep. Fine.
Okay. So Raghu, yeah, I'm just trying to open. I'm just trying to open Power BI desktop. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about installation part. First, we'll try to discuss about the installation part. Okay, so whatever you're able to see, this is called as a Power BI desktop. Okay, Power BI desktop. Okay, it is very easy tool. I mean, it's a very easy and simple tool. It is just that you need to navigate and you need to explore yourself to this particular tool. Okay, suppose uh, okay, right now I'm going to give some kind of, I'm going to design a simple report. Okay, for that what I'll try to do, first I'll try to connect to the data source. I will explain each and every steps in during our core session. Don't worry about it. But since to how to know how to design a report, I'm just trying to do this. I'm just trying to select a few tables like dim customer table, uh, say dim product. I'm just trying to select few tables by connecting to the SQL Server. It is simple to design fact internet sales tool. Yes, it is very simple to design the reports in Power BI. It's very simple. Simply selecting the objects and next process. Okay. I'm just trying to design a small report. Okay. I'm taking any format, any template. So I want to design a report based on the category name. So based on the category name, so I'm just trying to select that particular column under axis, and I want to understand each product, each category wise, what is my sales amount values. Okay, what are my sales amount values? Okay. Oh, fact internet sales I haven't loaded. Okay, just a second, let me load fact internet sales table also. There is a table called fact internet sales table. Yes, load. Done. So I'm going to select a sales amount for that particular category. I'm just going to select, drag and drop into this. So I'm able to get the result. See, For bikes, this is my sales amount. For accessories, for clothing. See, when I say categories, in this table we have different categories are there. I want to understand each category wise sales amounts, each category wise sales amount. So I have created this particular report. So do you think it's I mean, did I write any sort of coding here? No, simply I have selected the tables, I have imported the tables to the Power BI desktop, and I have taken some any kind of visualization, and and simply, I have selected and dragged and dropped to the columns. So then my report is ready. So then my report is ready. So what I mean to say is designing the report is very simple in Power BI desktop. But you need to explore more options. So during our course tenure, we are going to discuss all the options, whatever the option that you're able to see, each and every option with the different examples. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. And as we were discussing about components of Power BI, already I told you Power BI desktop will plays a major role, wherein we are going to cover 80 to 85% of our Power BI code in Power BI desktop. So this is the desktop. Okay, this is Power BI desktop, wherein we are going to write the complete coding related to the requirements. Okay, after writing the code here, we're going to save the file, report file, and we're going to move the report file to the different different environments like Power BI cloud, or Power BI report server, or Power BI mobile app. So that is a kind of things that we are going to do. So whatever you're able to see is called as a Power BI desktop. So Raghunath, are you clear?
Yep.
Yeah. So since it is the first, I mean, for you it's a first class, so I will not go into that. So till now, whatever I've discussed, do you have any questions?